Have you noticed the global media, or shall we say the European media, has shifted from being skeptical of Meloni to being really comfortable about her pro-EU stance? There has been a number of articles and media stories where it is emphasized and speculated that Meloni might not be that bad for the EU after all. And why not? She has just stressed that Italy would continue to stand for Ukraine and be fruitful to the NATO alliance. All of this contributed to the narrative that Meloni is dancing to the Western beat in order to obtain the COVID recovery cash from Brussels. The woman, however, has disproved this ridiculous narrative. Yes, Meloni has openly denounced Europeanism and reiterated to the West that if necessary, she might hop on Russian bandwagon. Hello and welcome to TFI Global, the foreign affairs and geopolitical analysis arm of the TFI Media Group. I am your host Manu. Let's begin. This week, during the first parliamentary hearing of the new government in Italy, Italy's new PM Giorgia Meloni extended her support for Ukraine. Meloni even used the speech to set out her vision of Italy's relationship with Europe, promising allies her government's loyalty to the European institutions. She said because that is the place where Italy will make its voice heard loudly. This came as a surprise to many Western leaders. The global media started speculating that Italy's new government will be a pro-West government because Italy needs money to fix its ravaging economy, thus ensuring that Meloni's theatrics against the EU won't occur again. However, the agenda has come crashing down. Immediately after gaining a necessary confidence vote in the upper house, the newly elected Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni slammed Germany for its stance during the EU energy crisis and questioned whether this represents Europeanism. Reportedly, while speaking at the chamber of the Italian legislative, Meloni defended Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban and pointed the fingers at Germany, stressing that together with the Netherlands, Germany is not cooperating to have a better price on gas for all EU member states. Taking a dig at the pro-EU opposition parties in the Italian legislative, Meloni added, "You always quote Orban, but is the attitude of Germany what we call Europeanism? It seems to me that the EU has missed some trains, and not because of sovereignties who do not rule in the EU." Meloni even stressed that forget that she is cheerleading for Brussels. It is just a pipe dream of some. The Italian PM emphasized, "I would never become anyone's cheerleader. The EU should do less in internal matters and does not have a word on everything. It would be better." Thus, the assertions that Meloni is supporting Brussels against Russia are debunked. The Italian leader has made it clear that she supports Hungary, which is at the moment the best illustrations of EU skepticism. Hungary is blazing trails and openly castigating the EU, which is biting more than it can chew against Russia. A few days ago, the EU's anticipated gas price cap failed again as Germany and Hungary failed to reach a common ground with other European foreign ministers. Germany was actually allowed to voice its discontent, but Hungary received criticism for its opposition to the proposal. Budapest rejects a price cap. In fact, according to Peter Szijjártó, Minister of Foreign Affairs, it shouldn't even apply to long-term gas supply agreements that his nation has with Russia. Further unaware, before storming Kiji Palace, Giorgia Meloni and Viktor Orban had shared similar opinions on the Ukraine war and Brussels' absurd attitude towards internal matters of the member states. Orban refused to condemn the Russian invasion and refused to sanction Moscow, which helped Budapest maintain energy security at home. It had always been anticipated that Meloni would go the Orban way, that is, a smart approach between Russia and the EU. Furthermore, Italy's Deputy Prime Minister Matteo Salvini has repeatedly insisted on the need to re-evaluate sanctions against Moscow. This is so because, as per Italy, sanctions are not damaging the sanctioned party, but rather those who are imposing the sanctions. So it was anyways foolish to anticipate that Meloni would dance to the tunes of Brussels and fear the tool of European Commission. The leader of Italy has made it plain that she is not a hardliner towards the West, but is instead a leader who is aiming to address the country's economic problems first, even if it means aligning with Russia. It is also mentionable here that Russia has already given an offer to Meloni that it can fix Rome's energy crisis once and for all.